And here's what happens. When you really combine all these elements, your probabilities of winning skyrocket. How would you like to make yourself indispensable? It means that your value is so high that people cannot even think about not having you on their teams. And by the way, I'm still developing. I'm still in evolution. I am by no means at the top of the game where I want to be. That's something that's important. You got to stay humble and you got to know that you don't know. The moment that you start feeling that you already know everything, that's the moment that you start going downhill. What is the path that brought me here today that can take you to your own level today? What is that path? It starts with your being, your foundation, who you are, how you operate in the game of life yourself. That really determines what buildings you can build, right? You are the central part, the most important part of all your dreams and goals is you. Daily learning. I do not let, still today, especially in this era of artificial intelligence in which we have coaching at our fingertips, unlimited, an industry that is somewhere around $6.5 billion a year. People pay for coaching services. You have a coach in your hands, AKA ChatGPT, that you can ask questions, engage, interact, get data, information, and get yourself trained and educated. Another one over here, reverse engineering. What does that mean? You got to be able to study what other people, other brands and businesses are doing successfully so it can inspire you. Not so you can plagiarize it. It can inspire you to do your own and help you get things rolling. You don't have any analysis paralysis of sorts, right? So there's, without getting too deep into it, there's something called the Facebook ad library. This is one example right here. We're gonna have another episode about this in the future, but I can go in here, and if you Google Facebook ad library, you'll have the first link that shows up is this thing called the ad library. And I can go in here and I can search for, let's say, my brand, NaturalSlim. Let's say that I wanted to find out what Manuel is doing with his brand, because I have my own weight loss company that I wanna try to get going and I wanna try to replicate successful things. Well, I can go over here and click on NaturalSlim and I can see exactly what NaturalSlim is running. All the ads, the videos, the images, the graphics, the call to actions, the copy, the websites. I can see the whole thing. I can even see the landing pages, the whole entire thing. That's called reverse engineering. So a real marketer spends time looking at what other companies are doing in the game, so it can inspire them to do their own version of it. Reverse engineering, in combination with the last point that I put over here, which says, think outside the box, is essential. You look at what other people are doing, other brands are doing, and then you think outside the box and create your own version, which is different, makes you stand out, and you maybe add an element to it. For example, my NaturalSlim brand, we're not just a weight loss company, we're a service. We deliver consultations, and you know what? We deliver them for free. You don't even have to pay for them. All you gotta do is buy products, and we're gonna give you the products, and the consultations are gonna be for free. And that's what makes us different. That's what makes us stand out. So you gotta come up with your own element, thinking outside the box. Don't do what everybody else is doing. That's not gonna take you very far. Opportunity seeking. What does that really mean? Things come and things go. A master's degree in college will not serve you tomorrow. So you gotta stay current. You gotta keep on learning consistently about what's happening today. YouTube, for example, in 2006 was the biggest opportunity in the internet world, and not only in the internet world, the business world. Many people recognize that opportunity today. It's still a big deal, but it's not as easy to break through. Same thing with social media. Opportunity came, opportunity went. It is not as easy to break through. The same thing with Amazon, for example. It was easy to build a brand in 2012, 2013. There was no competition. You will launch your brand, and because Amazon had so much power already and so much traffic, you would magically start selling right away. It's not the same thing today. Opportunities come and they go. And let me guarantee you something. For the next 50 years or more, These will always exist. There's a friend of mine, one of my partners, Mr. Tom Cummins, who I love, one of my best friends. He says, once in a lifetime opportunities come every 7 days. And that's an absolute fact. They are always present. But if your eyes are closed, you can't see them, you're not gonna see them, right? You're gonna miss them. And they're gonna just pass you by while other people like myself are catching that wave and taking advantage of that opportunity to build more wealth and build more success. What's happening today that you can take advantage of right now? AI in 2024. Things like ChatGPT are making things easier right now to write a book, to create content, to do social media, to create projects and programs, and to be a copywriter, to build a marketing agency. It is an opportunity that we haven't had before. Opportunity seeking will let you jump all over that opportunity, and then you start dominating that particular game and get yourself a little bit higher up. And now, next year, we're gonna think about what's that next opportunity, because they're always coming and going. Be an extrovert. What does that mean? You can't just be behind closed doors and be a marketer. Marketer is obsessed with communication. They are out there. They're looking for collaborations, connections, talking to others, invading other people's spaces. They're comfortable with being themselves and communicating. You gotta be an extrovert. If you don't know how to be an extrovert, maybe being a marketer is not the right thing for you. Maybe you gotta be an employee of a marketer that you can follow his direction or her direction. But you gotta be able to do this actively. Competitive spirit. I hate losing more than I love winning. I don't do well losing. And because I've always been like that since I was a little kid, playing tennis. Since the age of 7, I used to break rackets. I used to grab my Nintendo and throw it against the wall when I would lose. I'm not trying to be a bad example for you if you're a kid. Definitely not want to be the best role model in the world. I, myself, in this life, have not done well losing. Still today, I cannot let my kids, I have 4 of them, I don't let them beat me. I don't do well with that. So competitive spirit is essential because you keep on going until you win. You don't just give up. You persist until you actually accomplish growth, expansion, accomplishment, whatever. Data-driven. So data-driven, what does that mean exactly? Data-driven means that you are able to stop being romantic about what you think your audience likes and use the data that's being given to you about what they like. If you have a video that you think is the best video you ever made, and you put it out there and nobody watches it, don't be romantic about it. But if you have another video that you thought you look terrible, and it just takes off, then understand that you have to operate based on data, not based on feelings and thoughts. When you get all romantic about it, you start spending money on a campaign or a creative or a landing page or whatever that is not working. Because you yourself, not your audience, feels that it's the best thing that's ever been done. So you can't really operate like that. That's gonna lead to failure. Never going to sleep. What do I mean by that? Never going to sleep. Well, not literally, because you gotta sleep. When you don't sleep well, you don't produce as much, right? So sleeping is very important. I really believe in that. I can tell you that. Now, marketing does not sleep. You don't take days off. Marketing is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It doesn't sleep. It doesn't wait for you to come back to work. It's not something that you can just do 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. That's not what built me. I built my universe Monday through Sunday. As long as I was awake, I was working and creating and directing and adjusting and correcting. My best marketers in my company don't really have a schedule. They want to keep on growing. They want to keep on expanding. They don't shut down at 5 o'clock because they understand that at 8 o'clock, people are trying to buy products still. At 10 o'clock, they're trying to buy products. At 6 a.m., they're trying to buy products and buy services. So you got to understand that the marketing game does not sleep. When people are taking days off during holidays, you should be putting attention to your work and to your marketing campaigns, specifically during holidays. Why? Because in holidays, people get into the mindset of spending, and marketers splurge on that mindset. We take advantage of people that are thinking about spending money. Be like a Hall of Famer. What does that mean? In the game of marketing, you got to know, if you're a marketer, that you're going to fail a lot. There's going to be many ads that you create, many images, many campaigns and landing pages, many overall strategies that you're going to have to take and dump into the garbage. because it didn't work. But once you get those free campaigns that win, those free strategies that hit home, then you scale those to the end of the world. Communication obsessed, very similar to being an extrovert, right? You gotta be willing to communicate on social media platforms. I have a policy, I did a recent episode, which I believe was the one just before this one, episode 17, in which I covered the subject of block or buy, the philosophy. You have to be willing to communicate to your audience. If you have this viewpoint of, you want to respect their privacy, you don't want to communicate too much, you're already bothering too much, you got to make sure that you don't overdo it. This is not for you. This is not your game. You want to win in the game of marketing, you got to know that you got to go and hit them hard and hit them over and over again and let them either block you so you don't keep on messaging them or buy from you. When you have a conviction with your products and services and your message, you go at it until they get results. Results obsessed. I am a winner. I need to win. And you should also want to win so badly that you keep on going despite all your failures until you actually win. Until your campaign starts making money, until you generate leads at the correct cost per lead, until you start growing your social media following, until you get videos to go viral. You gotta have this obsessive desire to win. And last but not least, creative. You have to be creative, meaning that you have to think about what can you do today that's different than what you did yesterday. Constantly thinking like an artist. An entrepreneur is an artist. They really are artists. You pretend to just be a business person, but in reality, you have the ability to create. And that's what artists do. And the best entrepreneurs are absolutely incredible creatives. And here's what happens. When you really combine all these elements, your probabilities of winning skyrockets.